Podcast number 1, Talking with Topher. It is April 4th, about 8 o'clock in the morning, and this is my new podcast, episode 1. It's going to be something I'm working on, but I'm hoping that, that I can help people get through a tough time, because I know that right now we're all going through a tough time. And one of the things that I'm struggling with right now is sobriety from alcohol. But it's been very interesting, losing my job, or having my job temporarily paused, I guess. I don't really know. It's been very interesting. Usually all the stuff that I have to occupy my brain with other things, my jiu-jitsu, work. Oh my God, work. I actually miss it. But all these things that I had to keep myself busy have been temporarily put on hold, paused until we don't know when. And I think that makes everything a little bit more difficult, not knowing when we'll be going back to work or being able to go back on the mats in jiu-jitsu. So struggling with, not buying alcohol and not drinking is a little bit more challenging, for me anyways. I have to find other things to occupy my time. When I go to the store, I just got to keep focused on the items that I need and not let my brain veer me into breaking my 3.5 years sobriety from alcohol. So some of the things that I do is I clean my entire house in approximately 5 days. Now I'm looking for other things to do, and it's just been it's been tough, but it's also rewarding every day that I still don't drink, and I think I look forward to that reward more than anything. It's very satisfying when I actually do make it through the full day, and I don't indulge my brain into that activity. Just been fighting this for a long time, but finally, I don't know if I gave in per se, but I came to a realization that it was interrupting my life, and it was causing me a ton of problems. Don't know why it took so long, for me to realize that alcohol was my biggest issue. I have so many things that showed me that everything that I was doing in my life with alcohol involved was, I don't know if it was wrong, but it was definitely not healthy. Mentally, physically. I remember when I was like 23, 24, going to the doctors for a physical, and then they have that questionnaire of how much you drink and how much you smoke and all this other stuff. And I would write everything down, and then the doctor would come in and he would be like, I don't even know how you're still here right now. This is a lot to be drinking every day. So I have been So I'm not sure what the easiest route for anybody is to help with this, but I'm hoping while we're all on quarantine and trying to stay home and only go to stores for essentials, just finding other stuff, indulging in podcasts, um, cleaning my house, maybe do some maintenance on the car, the lawnmower, snow thrower, stuff like that has been keeping my mind at ease, but definitely not without a struggle. Um, so, I'm very sorry. Okay, and sorry, small break. No, I just been working on it. Keeping away from the alcohol, and just trying to keep busy around the house. I know I'm repeating myself. Like I said, this is new to me. Um, it might be a little bit annoying, but I'm hoping it's going to get easier and better. But yeah, I just want to kind of throw out what I'm going through, and see if I can help myself. This is kind of like a breather, talking about everything that's going on. I don't go to meetings. I don't do any of those type of things. I used to. Unfortunately, most of that was forced upon me from court and other things. So, when I was in AA, I never wanted to be there. I never took the program seriously. As I got older and I had to do the program more times, there was a moment in time where I actually did take them seriously. I did get very involved, but unfortunately for me, the God thing was really hard to wrap my head around. Unfortunately, I don't believe in a God per se. It's not something that clicks with me. I'm just not sure what happens you know, after we die, I guess. I'm not. I don't want anybody to think that I try to push that on anybody. I definitely don't. If you believe, that's great. Unfortunately for me in AA, it was one of those things that I couldn't get past, and so therefore it just didn't work for me. But now that I finally found something that worked for me, which was reality. The last time I drank, I was Ubering. So I was picking people up and I was drinking while driving these people around. And late night, and I'm Ubering in a busier city, and I got pulled over at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I probably had about 2 or 3 shots before I got pulled over. So definitely at the point of intoxication. I ran a red light talking to my customer, and I got pulled over. And the cop came up to my car, we talked, and he came back and let me off with a warning. And I then realized in that moment that I was taking a really bad turn again. And this would not be the first one. It would probably be the 15th or 16th one. Unfortunately, I have a lot of stories, past mistakes that, I'll eventually talk about on here. But it was just a eye opener, and I was completely shocked that I got to go home that night. He let me off with a warning. He told me to take my customer home and take it slow and pay attention, of course, because I was talking and not paying attention to the light, and so that's why I got pulled over. So after that, I went home, and I drank all the rest of the booze that I had in the house. It wasn't that much, but there was enough booze in the house to continue to the next day. So I drank it instead of dumping it, because I just couldn't throw it away. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but for some reason, certain things are just really hard to throw away. So I had to finish it, and then that was 3.5 years ago, and it was a real eye-opener for me. Made me realize that everything I had in front of me would be lost. My wife, my house, my 2 dogs. Luckily, for me, I don't have any kids, so I wouldn't have involved them. But if I had kids, it would have been even a worse disaster. But yeah, I just struggle. Some days harder than the other, but I feel like this battle, it's never going to end for me. I feel like it's always going to be a challenge. I started drinking when I was probably 14, maybe 13, 14. So you're talking 93, 94. And, I'm 40 years old now. So, just figuring out that this stuff was no good for me so recently, and having it in my life for so long. There's so many things and events, family gatherings, summer days. My wife asked me the other day why I was why I was thinking about drinking, and I told her it was because it was sunny and beautiful out. There was no other reason. I just was like, hey, it's a beautiful day out. I should be kicking back a cold one and enjoying it. And I realized that these are all just triggers, and they're triggers that once I finally realized was a trigger, it was easier for me to deal with the situation. And I use that mentality for every day now. I think it's been like 4, maybe 5 weeks now since we've been able to go on the mats and go to jiu-jitsu school. And shout out to PMA and Derry and Plastow and Wyndham. Love you guys very much. Miss you all. And that has been probably one of the best things that I've ever done for myself. It physically pushes me. It puts me in a very uncomfortable situation almost every time I go onto the mats. Been doing it for about 5 years. And the only reason it puts me in a difficult situation is because everybody in there is bigger than me. So when I start rolling with people, they overpower me. And it just shows me that I need to get more physical. I need to work out more, get some more upper body strength, and work my technique better so that those things don't happen. But it's been one of those things where it challenges me to the extent where everything else that I have to think about is actually a little bit easier. So I don't know. It just, when someone's trying to choke you out and put you to sleep, having a drink is not as important. Yelling at somebody in traffic is just doesn't matter. I don't need to get mad at that person that just cut me off because I just spent an hour trying not to get killed, pretty much. So, and these are just one of the things that I do that helps me. And I think that if you can find something challenging in your life that makes your decisions, your everyday decisions, a little bit easier, then that's a good thing. It's a good challenge for you. I just trying to make it through this quarantine. This is just so crazy. I talked to my 93-year-old grandmother. She'll be 93 this month. And she was telling me how she's never seen, heard, or dealt with anything like this in her life. And she didn't, the depression didn't affect her, but she was growing up as they were coming out of it, I believe. So like 1925, something like that. I don't have my dates. This is not going to be a very accurate podcast. I will let you know that my knowledge of things is not so sharp. So if I say anything that's not correct, I apologize. You can fact check me. I'm probably wrong. So take everything with a grain of salt, please. Like I said, I'm just doing this because, like everybody else, I'm locked up in my house. I need to get a few of these things out. And it's just really, really hard not being able to hang out with your friends. And I just probably spent 2 hours on the phone yesterday just calling my mom, my sister, my grandma, just calling people because we can't actually get together and hang out, or I can't go to my parents' house right now. So all these outlets, you kind of have to change the way you do things right now. So I've been calling a lot of people, keeping them on the phone for an hour, just trying to get through every day as much as I can. And it's a challenge. I think just everything is a challenge. Everything is a challenge, and it just depends on how you approach each challenge is going to maybe determine how difficult it'll be. And this has probably been my biggest challenge, is getting this podcast started. I've had a few ideas for names. I jump them around. I got Casually with Chris, but I'm not a big fan of the name Chris because that was what I used to go by when I was younger, and I don't know, I didn't like that guy, so it's decent. I've also thought of Talking with Topher, or Topher Talks. I love Topher. I've always thought it was fun. You also get to say TT. It's close to titties. But yeah, just putting myself on camera, recording my voice. This is all very nerve-wracking and interesting all at the same time. I have no idea how long these will be. I don't know where this will go or if it'll continue, but I'm gonna try to do this, and my hope is that it helps me get through my days, being able to speak out loud and kind of get my thoughts out of my head, which tends to help. And I feel that if I put it out there, I'm hoping it'll help someone else who's struggling with that sunny day, and all their thoughts are, well, it's a beautiful sunny day, why not? And I'm telling you, the reason to why not is because also it is a sunny day and you're enjoying it. Where alcohol, for me, I always thought I was enjoying it, but it turned out that I was not. I mean, I'd wake up the next day and I wouldn't remember that afternoon because the alcohol took over, and then you black out. And unfortunately, that's where it always led me. Always led me into a dark place. Always the blackout. Drink too much too fast, and then I turn into this person that my wife has recorded once or twice, and it was somebody that I did not even notice. And I have trouble with that, and now, because I've rewatched those videos sober, and I always wonder again why things why didn't it click, why did it take so long? And I just think that instead of looking at that the way I have been all these years, going, why? It's more like, well, you needed to learn the hard way, and unfortunately it took so many court cases, so many lawyers, and just a lot of time and money in and out of court. And, nothing ever sunk. It was like, I can keep doing this. I can keep doing it. But eventually, I believe your brain, your body, everything changes. You can't hold it down as well as you could. So I would get sick. But I never got to a point where, I was like sick from stopping, which I hear a lot of people have problems with, and luckily I did not. But it was very difficult, and took a long time to get here. And here is really, really great. I think clearly. I talk a little bit better. Probably not much better, but I talk a little bit better. I find that conversations that I have with people take different turns now. People agree with what I say, which is crazy. Because I'm not talking nonsense. I'm not foggy. I'm actually thinking about what I say instead of just saying things how I feel. Coming out with nonsense, freaking out on people. So a lot of those things help me go, hey, no drink today. And it's so interesting for me to be in a position to say these things. I never thought this would be on the table for me to speak and have something I hope is worth listening to. During these tough times, I'm hoping that people are not right about, I understand that people need AA and they go to it, and I'm hoping that there's some type of Zoom app out there. I know everybody's using that now. I've been using it for jiu-jitsu class. It's a great program. And it's a great app. It's helping people go to work. It's helping kids go to school. Helping my jiu-jitsu class go to class. In a sense, we get to see our teachers, and we get to communicate, and it's great. And I'm so glad that we have the technology that we have today to be able to do this. And I just hope that a lot of people have said and predicted that there'll be tons of divorce after this because everybody's locked in their house together. And they're saying that I've heard that people without AA are struggling very, very. They're struggling, and it's unfortunate. And I'm hoping that maybe somehow, some way, if anybody hears this, I get through to someone, help somebody during the day that is just struggling a little bit more than I am. I gotta go take care of my dogs. And dogs are in. They're crazy, barking at the neighbor's dog. So much fun, always. No, it's not. Drives me crazy. I'm not sure if this is gonna come up on mic, but I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. It does. I apologize. But yeah. So, like I said, I am just trying to keep myself sober and get my thoughts out. Feels really good, actually. I feel a lot better about this. I'm hoping you guys enjoy. We'll see where this goes. I'm hoping it can only get better. I know I ramble a lot. I probably repeat a ton. Yeah, I'm just hoping that I can get past that. I am very nervous about putting myself online. I'll be honest about that. I'm 40 years old, and I find social media very, very intimidating. A lot of negative people out there, and I guess I am worried about that. But at the same time, I can't be, because I need to get these thoughts out of my head so that I don't do something I would regret. I feel that I'm a stronger person than that, but we still all have struggles, and we have ways that we deal with them, and this is going to be my new way to deal with my addiction to alcohol. So I hope everybody enjoys. This is going to be short. I'm probably going to keep them right around this length for now, until I get a little bit more comfortable. And I just hope everybody out there is hanging in. I've lost my job, like I said. I don't know how we're gonna, we'll figure it out. That's it. I filed for unemployment. That got denied. They say that's what happens. So they keep reassuring everybody that it's gonna work. So we'll see if it works. But yeah, it's tough times. Tough times for everybody. And I just hope everybody is well and safe. And I hope that each day that we stay home brings us closer to the day that we all get to go back out again. Because it's really weird being spring and being told to stay in your house. We already did that for like 6 months, so we all want to get outside. And this is just making cabin fever a little bit more difficult, because like everybody else, I've been looking forward to getting out of my house for 6 months, and now here we are, stuck back in the house. But maybe when the rain lifts, because right now, well, it was raining for the past like 3-4 days here. I'm in New Hampshire, and now we're finally seeing it's cloudy, but there's no rain. Thank goodness. Hopefully we'll dry out, be able to go outside, and even if it isn't only in your backyard or on your porch in your apartments, I hope everybody's getting outside, getting a little bit of vitamin D naturally. It's good for you. Try to get out there for at least a half an hour a day on a nice, beautiful day, and get that vitamin D. And whatever struggles you're struggling with, I hope that this helps you pull through that struggle a little bit easier. Again, trying to do this right. I don't know if I am, but I'm Christopher, and not sure what to call this. I'm really not. I kind of like talking with Topher. I really do, but I don't know. Hit me up. Let me know. I'm going to try to post this on my YouTube channel. So that's Christopher Conderman. And thank you very much for listening. And I don't know. I'll talk to you in a couple days, maybe a week. I'm not sure how I'm going to play this out, but we'll see how it goes. So thank you very much, guys. And like I said, I hope everybody is safe and well. Have a great day. Topher out.